Let's paint this Death Guard Lord of Poxes. The Lord of Poxes is one of the latest Death Guard miniatures from Games Workshop. I don't actually play Warhammer 40K, I just love the universe and especially the Death Guard aesthetic. So when I saw this model, I bought it right away. It's been 4 or 5 years since I last touched a brush, so I was a bit nervous about how it would turn out. I'm also planning to return to making content on this channel, so your support and likes would really mean a lot. I started by priming the model black with a white zenithal highlight. For the base tone, I applied Plaguebearer Flesh Contrast mixed with Ammo MIG Transparator, similar to Citadel's Lamian Medium, at a 2:1 ratio. I tried to apply it evenly, avoiding pooling in the recesses. Next, I used Guilliman Flesh Contrast on the front pouch and shoulder. For the tentacles, I used Volupus Pink Contrast. You can thin it with medium to control opacity and flow better. On the cape, I wanted a fleshy skin-like look, so I mixed Guilliman Flesh with Volupus Pink, mostly using Guilliman and blending in patches of Volupus while still wet. For the sword strap, I used Agaros Dunes Contrast. While the small front detail was painted with Iron-Din Yellow Contrast. The weapon got a coat of Rattling Grime Contrast. For the plasma coils, I started with a white base. This was my first attempt at OSL, Object Source Lighting. And spoiler, I failed. Haha. I'll try again on the next model. Once the white dried, I moved to Kislev Flesh for edge highlights on the cape, focusing on raised areas and where the light would hit. Sometimes I added white to pop the highlight more, or medium to help wet blending. I don't have a strict method, I just go with what feels right. That's the fun of miniature painting, experimenting to find what fits your style.
To adding a sense of bruise and depth to the cape, I'm using Druchii Violet.
To soften harsh highlights, I wet blended Guilliman Flesh over medium on top of the cape. This created a more natural transition and helped cover any mistakes. I also used Kislev Flesh to highlight the front pouch, sword strap, and parts of the backpack. You might think using Kislev Flesh everywhere would make all the highlights look the same, but later shading with different contrasts alters the tone in each area. Next, I shaded the backpack with Caroburg Crimson, giving it a reddish-pink tone that contrasts with the fleshy cape. For the sword handle, I used Rockhearth Flesh. Quick check-in on the model so far, looking good. Back to the tentacles, I added texture using Kislev Flesh, applying horizontal or vertical strokes. Then I shaded with Volupus Pink, thinned with medium, focusing on the recesses. For the coils, I tried Magmadroth Flame Contrast for a glowing orange effect, but it was too thick over white. I should have thinned it more like a glaze. I tried to fix it with Iyanden Yellow, but it made things worse, so I left it. I then used Flash Gits Yellow to bring back the highlights. When I added red, disaster. I tried blending it out and reapplying yellow and white to salvage it. It still looked messy. If anyone has tips on painting glowing coils, please help me in the comments. The tentacles weren't looking great either, so I built up more contrast using Kislev Flesh, especially on light catching areas. I touched up the backpack as well to increase contrast and pop. With the main colors done, I moved to the metallic trim. I used Ammo Mig Copper instead of a darker tone because I prefer vibrant colors for Nurgle, symbolizing both decay and rebirth. I want my army to stand out, not look grimdark. There isn't much trim on this model, but I enjoy painting it. Chaos models look better with decorated trim. It makes them feel more detailed than Loyalist Marines. I used Balthazar Gold for other metallic parts. Now for my favorite part, the sword. I've seen many people go for a rusty, dull look, but I wanted mine to look unique. Rusty, but still sharp, silver, on the edge to simulate wear and polish. I also added some silver to the gun to make it shine.
I used wet blending with Iand in yellow and Magma Droth flame contrasts to achieve a rusty effect, then cleaned up the edges with Ammo MIG gunmetal. I occasionally added Auguros Dunes contrast into the sword's recesses to enhance surface depth.
At this point, the model is about 70% done. I experimented with shading metal with Auguros Dunes instead of Reikland Flesh Shade to see if it gives better results. For the armor, I always use Agros Earthshade. Green and brown is a classic combo. Don't use black, it kills contrast. Use brown and highlight with yellow tone paints for a richer finish. I shaded the base rock with Agros too, since I didn't focus too much on basing, since I plan to display the army on a shared diorama, not use them in games. I added a little silver to the copper trim to simulate worn metal. For the base, I use Sterling mud texture paint. Let it dry and we're done. I'm pretty happy with how the Lord of Poxes turned out, except for the plasma coil. Let me know what you think. If you liked the video, leave a like. If not, leave a comment and let me know what I could improve. Thanks for watching, see you in the next one, have a great day, and keep modeling.